Alright, we live streaming. Alright, we're good to go. Let's get right into it.
Since no one has official news about the Power Rangers reboot, there is a rumor on social media that supposedly claims that what Hasbro is going to do is a remake of Mighty Morphin. We had previously explained the difference between what is a reboot and a remake, but basically the remake recreates the same story, characters and plot of the original, but updates technical or visual elements for a new audience. However, a reboot retains some concepts or characters, but changes the story, context or universe, giving it a new and different direction to renew the franchise from scratch. This is the difference in a nutshell between these two concepts, and now that we have defined them, we can talk about the rumored Mighty Morphin remake. Supposedly this is Hasbro's new plan, and it might be something quite serious since we could see some signs that the reboot that was planned was cancelled. Although Hasbro and Netflix have never given official statements about the supposed cancellation of the reboot, we could see that the producers who were designated to create this reboot have already disassociated themselves from the production. Obviously, this doesn't make the cancellation official, as it could have been a simple change of producers or even project plan, but at the same time it could be a sign of a total cancellation of the reboot. The supposed new plan is to create a remake of Mighty Morphin, and this would mean creating a new series of this team in an updated way. Even, in the rumor that had been circulating around the internet, it was said that Hasbro is going to choose the best episodes of the Mighty Morphin series, and these were going to be the episodes that they are going to use to update. Remember that a remake is basically using the same story, the same characters and the same plot, but updating all the technical elements. Although it may seem crazy to remake Mighty Morphin, it's really not such a crazy idea when you analyze all the benefits this could have, plus it's less risky than a total reboot of the franchise. The love that the fans have for Mighty Morphin is very big, and although that love also includes the actors, we really don't know if by changing the actors the audience is going to continue to love that team. I want to do a little experiment with you. If the franchise used all the elements that Mighty Morphin has and only changed the actors, would you still love Mighty Morphin? Write your answer in the comments, and this way we can see if this remake idea could be a good one. The reality is that it is very difficult to judge this since the actors must win the love of the public, and since this is a hypothetical situation, then we don't know the actors that could be playing these characters. There are very famous actors who already have the love of the public, and no matter what series or movies they do, the public will support them. However, it is very difficult for a famous actor to commit to a series like Power Rangers, since this type of series consists of filming many episodes, there is little budget, and the actors must be open to return at any time to film some participation in other seasons. Perhaps this may seem like a criticism of Power Rangers, but we must remember that this franchise is only aimed at a niche, which means that it is aimed at a group of people who love this type of series and is not a product for the majority of people. This is what makes it so complicated to generate revenue with a product like Power Rangers, and it is for this very reason that companies do not invest a lot of money in this type of series. However, if Power Rangers does a reboot and modifies everything to be directed for adults, it is very likely that the franchise can reach the general public. This is basically what Marvel did, because even though the comics can be enjoyed by adults, the reality is that only a small group of people read comics. However, by creating the movies with a story that is easy to understand for those who have never read the comics, it caused people who had never known about Marvel to become fans of the franchise. This is basically what Power Rangers should do, but we have to be realistic and accept that this has a big risk. If Power Rangers fails like it did in 2017, then it's very likely that the franchise won't be able to easily pick itself up from that disaster. It is probably for this reason that Hasbro has perhaps decided to do a remake, as they use a product that fans love and simply update it. This way they don't have to invest as much, plus they are going to use a story that has already worked in the past, and this reduces the chances that the fans are not going to like the story. I want to mention some positive things and some negative things that this remake may have, so you can judge this idea in a better way. Let's start with the positive things, and the first thing to say is that with the technology that is now available, if Hasbro makes a good investment, then we will be able to see a Mighty Morphin series with better visual effects. We got to see this in the special 30th anniversary episode, and honestly, it was spectacular. I think we're all going to agree that at the end of the episode we would have liked to see 10 more episodes, and specifically this is the feeling that maybe Hasbro is going for with the remake. Maybe it's a little unfair to compare it to the special episode, since that episode had a lot of nostalgia since some actors from the original series appeared, but the reality is that I really enjoyed the participation of Trini's daughter. This confirms that we have the ability to accept that new young actors can use the Mighty Morphin costumes, and although perhaps the fact that she is Trini's daughter influences this acceptance, the reality is that after having seen this I can accept seeing 5 new young people playing the Mighty Morphin. Another positive element about the remake is that we may have new costumes, and this may turn out to be something spectacular. Although the Mighty Morphin costumes and helmets are iconic, the reality is that they could do with some changes. We have already seen how some artists have created improved versions of the Mighty Morphin costumes, and if I could see a complete series with characters wearing these costumes, I would really watch it. Another important modification could be the Zords, because even though we saw an excellent CGI in the Zords of the special episode, I am not referring to the visual quality, but to the design. We already know that with today's technology they can create spectacular Zords, but we still haven't had the opportunity to see good Mighty Morphin Zord designs. In the 2017 movie they had an excellent CGI, but the Zord design was terrible. However, we have also seen artists who have created excellent designs for Mighty Morphin Zords, and I would be very motivated to see something like that. The downsides of doing a Mighty Morphin remake is that if the franchise is still geared towards a kid audience, then they are going to continue to have the same problems they have been having for several years now. The child audience is no longer the true audience for Power Rangers, and this is the biggest risk of creating a remake. Obviously, all the adults who are Power Rangers fans are going to see that Mighty Morphin remake, but as I said earlier, what can save the franchise is bringing the product to an audience outside of the niche. Another negative thing is the risk of the new actors failing to connect with the audience, as replacing the most beloved actors of the entire franchise is a very complicated thing to do, and this may cause everyone to reject the new Mighty Morphin actors. Write in the comments your thoughts about a possible remake, like this video, and subscribe for more information.
Thank you for watching. We're gonna get up 2 more videos and then